forecast calls for rain all day, so I'm gonna try to beat the rain and try to get in a quick flight. But we'll see how it goes because it's kind of windy out here, and I think it's starting to sprinkle. Alright, so I thought I can beat the rain, but I was wrong. It's starting to rain right now, so I'm gonna have to fly somewhere else. This always happens when I try to fly outside and make videos. Woohoo! I made it back just on time. It started raining. I don't know if you can hear, but there's like thunderstorming outside. Alright, anyways, so Happy Model's been getting a lot of attention lately with the Mobula 7. This one. So BetaFPV didn't like it too much, so they came back with their answer to the Mobula 7. And this is the BetaFPV Beta75 PRO2. So first, let's just open up the Pro2 and see what you get. Alright, so you get the quad, you get a battery adapter thing, and then these little plugs. I'll talk about what these are later. You get a spare 25-degree camera mount, and then a piece of paper. Let's just quickly go over the specs of the Pro2. So it weighs 28 grams without the batteries. It uses the 802 12,000 kV motors. It's using the Beta75 PRO2 frame, which seems pretty beefy. It uses 40mm quad blades with the 1mm shaft holes. It's got a all-in-one camera with a built-in 35-degree camera mount. So the mount that comes on the quad is a 35-degree, and then they also include a 25-degree camera mount. And I'm really glad that they chose a different material for the camera mount, because the original ones that they had, it was like, this is part of it, it was some kind of like hard material that doesn't give when you hit stuff, so they break all the time. So the new ones, it looks like I'm not sure what kind of material it is, but you can see that it is a little bit flexy. And just like all the other BetaFPV quads, they come in different RX versions. The one I have is the frsky, and they come in spektrum, and I believe in frsky also. Now the Pro2s come with these two 1S 300 milliamp batteries, because I know last year on the original Pro they included like a 500 milliamp 1S. So I'm really glad that they went with this different option. Difference between this battery, say like a 2S 300, is that this weighs, I believe, like 15 grams, and this weighs 18 grams. But you're getting double the capacity with this setup versus this one. The major difference between the Pro2 and the original Pro is the motors. On the original Pro, they used the 703 15,000 kV motors, but on the new ones, they're using the bigger 802 12,000 kV. The original Pro is only a 1S, but the Pro2 is a 2S and a 1S. So that's what this little adapter that comes with in this little pack is. This little thing is for a 1S adapter. So you take one of these and you plug it into one of the battery leads, so that way it'll kind of connect this part, and then you can just run it with a 1S battery instead of running 2S all the time. And now the Pro2 uses an all-in-one board, meaning the FC, ESC, and RX are all on one board. As you can see on the original Pro, you had to connect the receiver separately. So now let's talk about the main competition of the Pro2, which is the Mobula 7. So physically they're both 75 millimeters, but the Mobula 7 comes in at 26 grams versus 28 for the Pro. And the Mobula 7 uses the 802 16,000 kV motors versus the 802 12,000 kV on the Pro2. Both have the 5 amp 4-in-1 ESC with 6 amp maximum burst, and they both can take 1S and 2S. But I really like how on this frame that they made this opening the same size as the Pro, because I've been running these bigger 2S tattoo batteries, so these batteries fit in here exactly. One major weakness of all the Beta75 quads is this canopy. It's made of this super thin Lexan, which is so fragile. I can't tell you how many of these I've broken. One of the really good things about the Mobula is this canopy that they have. I've bashed this thing in all sorts of, I don't know, concrete, metal poles, bandos, everything, and it's still fine. I've never had an issue with the canopy breaking. Sometimes if I hit something really hard, the angle will get a little, you know, messed up, and I just kind of bend it back. But with these things, man, you barely hit anything and they crack. So I mean, I've replaced so many of those that I just ended up printing a TPU canopy for my 75X. I know Beta75 is usually really good at listening to like customer feedback and stuff, because I'm really glad that they changed the material on this mount. So I think what they need to do is they need to come up with a different canopy. So as the frame goes, so far the frame on the 75 Pro seems to be, the plastic on it is thicker than the Mobula 7. So I mean, yeah, this is like the major complaint a lot of people have with this Mobula 7 is that the frame breaks. As you can see, mine has broken. So yesterday the weather didn't cooperate at all, because when I tried to fly, it started raining like crazy. I mean, it flooded. Like yesterday, it rained so much, we had trash cans like rolling down the street. I'm gonna try to find some kind of dry place to fly. Take 3. So yesterday I tried to fly in the park and it was just way too windy. Rather than try to break my quad flying in 20-mile-per-hour winds, I just left. Plus, I didn't feel like it was a fair review to try to do a tiny hoop review in that much wind. So today the weather is a lot better. It's probably about 5 to 10 mile-per-hour winds. Still not ideal for tiny hoop, but I think this Pro 2 can handle it. It's cold, but we're gonna get it done. Big surprise, canopy's broken again. First, I'll just go over the negatives of this quad. Just to be fair, this is an early prototype version that BetaFPV sent me. And my OSD wasn't working on this one, but I'm sure it'll all be fixed in the normal production version. The biggest problem with all the BetaFPV quads is this canopy. As you can see, it's made of this super thin Lexan material that breaks so easily. I mean, I basically flew this quad exactly the same way and same place as I flew the Mobula 7, flying it into the jungle gym and everything, and the Mobula canopy I have is still fine. Canopy broke like on the second battery that I flew, and then ever since then, sometimes I'd be flying and then it'd fly real weird, and when I land, the camera would be like out flopping around like this. It made me so nauseous flying it this way. And especially on this quad, you need the canopy because the way the camera mount sits, the canopy actually holds the camera in there. So I'd suggest if you're gonna fly with this thing, put like a little hot glue or something in there to glue the camera in, or just use a TPU printed canopy instead of this Lexan one. So now onto the good stuff. The quad flies great. Today when I was flying, there was like a 5 to 10 mile per hour wind, and the Pro 2 handled it. The quad has plenty of power, and because of the extra weight of the quad, it does feel a little more stable than the Mobula 7. The 802 motors on this are super smooth and really powerful. It was powerful enough to fly in the park with a slight wind and even do like simple acro maneuvers like power loops and stuff. It kind of felt like a baby Beta75X, except not as heavy, and it has way more punch because it's a lot lighter than the 75X. So comparing the Pro 2 with the Mobula 7, the Pro 2 is $95 and you get a quad, 2 batteries, and a spare camera mount. The Mobula 7 is $99 and you get a quad, 4 batteries, a charger, screwdriver, spare screws, prop remover tool, and a spare set of props. So for $5 more, you can get all this versus this. Just for the canopy alone, I would say go for the Mobula 7. The canopy on these things is a huge weak point on the Beta75 PRO2. I mean, when you fly, you don't want to be worrying about broken canopies and stuff like this. The Mobula 7 canopy, I've flown this a lot more than that. I've flown this even in the bando, and the canopy is still fine. I've got way too many quads, so I'm going to give away this Pro 2 with a brand new canopy. All you have to do for your chance to win this quad is 1. Like this video, 2. Put a comment in the comments below. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about this quad. And 3. Be a subscriber to this channel. And in 2 weeks time, I'll use a random comment picker and pick a winner from the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!